What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. Today we are going to be talking about some of the rumors and leaks focused on the Samsung S24 Ultra model. Now, some of this will apply to the Plus and the regular models, but for today we're basically talking about stuff that we know about the Ultra. So go ahead, let's get on into it. So the first thing I'm seeing is that they are talking about the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 specifically for this phone. The other models are probably going to get the lower grade chips that we always hate whenever Samsung does this. I think they will be optimized for the phones, but the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 is actually going to be also optimized to work with the Ultra. So it's not just the regular Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 that we're used to seeing, it's also going to have more specific features for this phone, so it's going to be able to run even better. So really interested to see what that is going to entail. The next thing I see is they are really thinking that they're going to sell a lot of these phones. I just saw that they've upped their production 10% and they're hoping to sell 35 million devices of just the Ultra itself, not counting the other models. But 35 million is a big benchmark to hit. We'll see how that pays out for them. Now, one of the things a lot of people are talking about is the 10x optical zoom that we've seen in the previous Ultras is now being downgraded to the 5x. But with that, a lot of people are thinking that's a negative thing, but if you think about it, they're also getting, I'm reading, a 50 megapixel sensor. So whenever you pair those up, I actually think that you're going to get a better quality zoom out of the 5 times than you would have at the old sensor with the 10 times. So it could be, you could lose it in the wash, but it could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. I personally think that that's going to help with depth. It's going to help with portrait mode from farther away. So I'm excited to see how they handle it. Obviously, they wouldn't drop from 10x to 5x without compensating in some way. So I'm excited to see how that works out. The next thing up on my list that I've just taken some notes of leaks and things I've seen is the brightness. It is saying that it's going to be up to 2500 nits, and that's in all 3 models, the Ultra, the Plus, and the regular. So that's pretty bright. That's daytime. It's probably going to be around 2000 to 2200 nits. It always is a little bit lower, but that's bright. That's a bright phone. That's going to look really sharp. Yeah, we are seeing that it's still going to have the rounded frame on the outside, but it's actually going to be made out of titanium, probably to compete with Apple and their new iPhone 15 that has a titanium outside. So that'll be kind of cool. It does take a gram away from the weight, is all I've heard. Is it doesn't really affect it much, but it's going to make it a lot more durable. So that's pretty cool. One of the things is the display now is going to be flat. So you're going to have the curved edges of the titanium, but the screen itself is going to be flat. There's not going to be the curved bezels that we're used to seeing on the Ultra series on these phones. So again, that kind of makes it sound like they're going to try to make it look a little bit more like the iPhone, because iPhones are kind of catching up. Samsung's probably a little bit worried, so they're kind of trying to cut out that middle ground, and so they're going with a flat screen. Maybe that's not the reason, but it's just what it looks like to me. The Ultra is actually getting a little bit shorter. It's going to go for, and it's a little, I actually have to look. It's going from 163.4 millimeters tall to now 162.3. So you're losing 1.1 millimeters. Will you notice? No, unless you're holding the 23 up to the 24, you're not going to notice. But it is getting a little bit wider, but it's also getting thinner. So it's going to get shorter, wider, kind of like me, and then it's going to get thinner, not like me. But it's kind of neat. It's rare that you see the phones get smaller now, so maybe we're working towards that, or maybe that's just the way it fit best. I am seeing that it is going to have a smaller punch hole camera on the front, the selfie cam, as opposed to its predecessor, and it's going to be, it looks like there's a little bit more of a gap with the bezels in between the edge of the phone and where the camera is actually going to be. So interesting to see how that's going to affect displays. Probably won't make much of a difference, but it's more pronounced while also being smaller, if that makes sense. Right now, the colors that they are saying are standard on all 3 models are going to be black, gray, violet, and yellow. And the exclusive colors are going to be an orange, a light blue, and a green. I really like the exclusive colors that Samsung comes out with. I like phones that pop, even though I always have a charger and you never get to see it. but I like phones that pop. It gives it a personality. It lets you customize it. It kind of shows a little bit of yourself. I like those exclusive colors, but again, violet and yellow are pretty distinctive as well. So I like that those are going to be standard options as well, though. So that's pretty cool. Now, the big question is, when is this official announcement coming? And they have leaked that is going to be January 17th is when Samsung is going to make the big announcement, where I'm sure we will learn a lot more about these phones. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel so that I can keep you updated on a lot of those leaks, rumors, and once it finally gets announced, we can talk about it. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I will see you on the next video. Love you guys. Bye.